Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there. That's right, kids. It's that time again. You know what that means. You're about to meet, once again, that man, the greatest promoter you've never heard of. The man who the camera just wants to be friends with. That his Royal Highness himself, Count Coffee. It is Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Hey, guys, I'm getting breakfast served to me, so sorry.
Oh!
Vital.
Coffee
Hello.
indeed.
I've got, oh, yes, coffee is in the house. And I got my protein-filled breakfast. So I'll be eating while we do this, which anybody who's listened to my other shows knows. I do that. How unprofessional.
Oh, his poor family. That's going to be like shrapnel.
No, I swear I don't. No, I do. I probably do.
All right. So I guess the most important question, which will probably take up most of the time, and I'll let should I let our new friend ask Rob the question?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What? We got a friend?
Yes, Mr. Oh, yeah, we had to make him ourselves. All right,
Uncle Charlie.
Mr. Charlie Puppet. You have a question for Rob? Well, what have you been up to, Rob?
Wow. Charlie Puppet.
That's right.
We went and did it.
Trying to get
You know how much I love that.
I'm trying to get the angle down still. Well,
Yeah, you got to work on that angle.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a little prison cell set and everything, and on the little iPad, and he's gonna have his own little window. We're working
Oh
on
my
it.
God. Charlie lives on, and I love that so much.
I'm wearing too many clothes.
When right after Chris had died, we have the Chris puppet,
Mm-hmm.
and I pulled it out on a This Week in Geek, and afterwards, Alil was like, "Dude, you can't do that anymore. It's so creepy. It bothered me so much." He said it was making me sad because I was doing the voice and everything, and I'm like, "Yeah, but here's the reality. Chris would have loved it."
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I said, Charlie
Charlie would have loved that.
to be immortalized as a puppet. Oh yeah.
Oh my God! And how fun is that? Plus, they know how fun. I mean, I know how funny the stuff I say inadvertently is to you guys. So having a puppet that says my stupid crap, hilarious to me.
And I
love that.
I mean, plus we have Charlie drops too. So I mean, it's
I'm that kind of freak. You're going to need to get a fourth screen on here, though. Just a camera on the Charlie puppet.
I know. But because we premiered it Thursday night, and then I almost feel like I was like, did I do something? Because then yesterday there was that earthquake in New Jersey. I was like,
We have angered one of the ancient ones, Charlie Esser.
Probably can't.
Yeah.
Probably all the beer stores are probably closed in heaven. That's all. All right. So yeah,
Phil, I have something to say about the Flash. He's coming down. No.
Oh no! I was going to ask you a Marvel question and just have Charlie go, "Let me tell you how Rob was wrong."
Yeah, but I'm right.
Sure. All right. So yeah, what have you been up? What have you been up to, Rob? You're a busy man.
I've been buried. So much work.
I don't want to say I'm dead tired.
In a good way or a bad way?
Oh, in a good way. In a good way. I'm doing just a ton of work for my quote-unquote day job. It's just ramping up. We've got just so much stuff going on. We're also getting ready for another Writers' Row at Indie PopCon at the end of this month. If you're in Indianapolis, come to Indie PopCon. We will have our booth, Writers' Row. We've got books. We've got authors. And I will have... They give us... So we have a couple of things that are interesting. We have a podcast booth that we're doing live podcasting on the floor where we interview authors and other guests. It's really cool. That's in our booth. And it's not really broadcast. There's a small speaker, but it's really so we can record it and we can share it later. But people loved it last year. They stood there and watched. And some of the celebrities came over. Ming Chen was like, I couldn't get him out of the booth.
Of course.
Ming, you got to leave now, man. And then last year they gave us our own panel room. So we have a panel room, 3 days. I'm in charge of all the programming.
Oh.
And it's awesome. It's awesome. So I haven't even started putting that together by this week. By maybe Wednesday, we'll have a complete panel room thing worked out. So come, and I'm mostly in the panel room. So come see me babble. That's what I do for 3 days.
What he does best.
Yes.
What I do best.
So I think,
And then we also have our own signing booth in the celebrity signing area.
Oh, nice.
So like right next to Elijah Wood, signings happening,
Oh.
and they're from us. So it's really, really freaking cool. It's Indie PopCon, Indianapolis Convention Center, and it is. I'm going to get you a date.
so I think the headline is Rob got a day job.
He's had a day job for a while.
Yeah, man.
I know.
It's official tishel.
I know, but I'm just still not used to this. Rob has a job. He's wearing pants. I mean,
Oh,
Well, we don't know for sure.
well, in public, he's wearing pants. He has
I feel like he still wears the robe and slippers.
shorts. You compromise shorts.
No, at Christmas, this actually went even further. So right now, when the weather started to change, we packed my couple of robes up, and I have not gotten a new summer robe. So I've been struggling. Oh no! So there's the 2 winter robes. There's summer robe, but now at Christmas they got me something new. Do you know what Primark is?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, we have a Primark now, right
Yeah.
here, and it's fantastic. And they had a long coat, kind of wool coat. Lilith, it's outdoor robe.
Outdoor robe.
It's special. I was so sparing wearing it this year because I'm like, I'd never want outdoor robe
Well, it
to
was
go away
pretty warm
again.
this year for Chicago too. So
It doesn't matter. It's outdoor robe. But it is like a robe is because I've had other long coats, but this is outdoor robe, and oh my god, I am almost at the 24-hour-a-day robe point. It's
that's
amazing.
the dream.
Oh, it
That's
is.
the dream.
So
It is.
either royalty or mental illness. Yes, you make the call.
You
Two
make
things
the
can
call.
be true. Two things can be true.
Yes, he has that Tony Soprano going to get the newspaper robe. Yeah.
We just started that this week. We're showing Molly The Sopranos.
Oh, really? She hadn't seen it
yeah.
before. Oh, I thought that would have been required viewing years ago.
It's an interesting character study for sure, though.
Yeah.
I think she'll like it.
Oh, she loves it. We didn't. I don't know why we waited so long on Sopranos. Sopranos is one of our top shows, but we showed her. We've gone all through Breaking Bad.
Oh well, yeah, that's just a warm up to get to Sopranos.
Right. We did Mad Men, although they took it off, and now you have to pay for the last season
AMC
and a half.
Plus.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, I'm going to go find it at the library. I'm not paying
Yes.
just to get
Good
the last season of Mad
Support
Men.
your local libraries.
Yes, please. We've done a ton of different series together, but Sopranos is one of those that's loomed large. Like, we always talk about it. And finally, the other night, she was like, why don't we watch that? And Maeve was like, done. Oh, my God, it's so much fun to watch that show.
Does she have a favorite character yet?
We're, 4 or 5 episodes in? I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna yell it
Your
up. to her.
favorite Soprano character says a lot about you. He's asking her right now. He's too busy for you, Rob.
She's thinking. There's
Oh.
going to be a debate going on up there for a while now. So as soon as I hear, I'll tell you.
Oh, she's whiteboarding it. Okay.
Yeah. So, favorite. Okay. She's too early in the show. She doesn't know him enough yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Father, there's not enough statistical data so far to make an educated decision about this.
Isn't it Adriana's dog? Wouldn't that be your... Oh, you're setting yourself up for that one.
Oh.
Spoiler. It's not good. Isn't it the guy who got shot in the face in the bathtub? Oh.
Mine is Christopher.
You love Christopher?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even though what he did to Adriana's dog.
Yeah. Even though
Wow.
Adriana kind of had it coming.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
no.
so I watch Sons of Anarchy too, and if you know anything about Sons of Anarchy, she's like this. She gave birth to a crack baby. She just gave Jax like all the business. So like, it's like no separation between those two characters for me. So I'm like, yeah, she had it coming.
No, I haven't watched Sons of Anarchy. Is that a good one?
Sons of Anarchy is just Hamlet, literally Hamlet on motorcycles. It's so good.
Okay.
Especially if you love Ron Perlman and Katie
I
Sloat.
do. Oh, I do.
And Charlie Cuna. So yeah, it's a really great show.
All right. That'll go into the queue.
It's 7 seasons. Just buckle in.
Oh,
yeah, you know what? But
It's right in that vein of Sopranos, Mad Men. It was an FX show, if you don't know. So if you have Disney Plus, you probably have it on Hulu because they put Hulu on Disney Plus, right?
Right.
So yeah, you probably have it.
So
yeah, and I didn't. We never watched that one, but it's one of them that a lot of people have said. That one in Vikings. Everyone's like, those are awesome.
Terriers with Donald Loge is great.
I don't know that one.
FX had a really 10-year run of just really great shows from The Shield, and then I say Sons of Anarchy. That was the pinnacle. So yeah, if you like The Shield, it's the same guy. So the same guy that did Shield does Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, now I'm completely sold because The Shield was so good.
A masterpiece. Underrated masterpiece.
Totally. I think the thing that causes that one to not be talked about the same way is it was shot. Everything was shot just before everything went HD. So the quality, it should be that HD quality, but and so it looked like a movie, but instead it looks like a TV show, and it kind of brings it out of it.
Down a notch. Early season. But CCH Pounder, oh my god, so
she's always excellent. Yeah. All right, Phil, you were going to ask a question.
Oh, no, I was going to say, you mentioned Breaking Bad. Have you guys watched Better Call Saul with her yet?
Not yet. Probably because it's still, it just
fresh.
Ended not long ago. So for us, it would be like jumping back in right after finishing it.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably better to give it a little space, but hell yeah, I want to watch that one again. And you know what's funny with that show is, you guys watched it, I take it?
Yeah.
That whole time jump thing that made you talk about it all the time.
Wow.
And then what they did in the last season with the time jump was brilliant. It paid off that idea in ways that I was not actually thinking it was going to do. So, oh my God. And especially when you get to those last couple episodes, what the hell? Great show. Vince Gilligan, he wrote the best X-Files episodes too.
I was going to say, yeah, it's
of course.
Chris Carter or Vince Gilligan every time. Outside of, I don't really know what Chris Carter's done outside of X-Files really. I'm yeah, he tries. Bless his heart, he tries.
I tried Lone Gunman.
And potential, but
but it was not good.
Millennium too, so
And I liked Millennium, but that didn't work. Yeah, but X-Files.
He needs somebody to ground him, and nobody was ever after Vince wanted to do his own thing. Nobody really was able to do it, I guess.
Well, he had great writers on that show, and I think they outgrew it, like Vince Gilligan. Look at the Wongs; they were so great with that. And they went on and they created Final Destination and a bunch of TV show things that it's they didn't need X-Files at that point,
Exactly.
So, and they are rebooting it. And there was just a thing yesterday, and who knows what's real, but Gillian Anderson has said forever she is not going to go back to it, mainly because of Chris Carter.
Yeah.
Because he keeps, number one, he disrespects her as a female agent. And every time his go-to, we got to put some drama in here. Let's make Scully pregnant. She's like, I'm in my late 50s. What are you doing to me? Or at the time, I think she was early 50s. And she's like, this is weird. That's his thing, right? Oh, we'll make her pregnant. We'll make her a victim. It's no, Scully is badass.
Yeah, he's one of those men of a particular age that,
Yep.
It's giving a little Frank Miller-esque, honestly.
I
get it.
You're welcome.
You're not wrong.
Your mother's a whore.
The Frank Miller method.
That's what we call the Frank Miller syndrome.
Frank Miller method, yes.
So,
I will say, though, the one nice thing I can say about Frank Miller is at least he honored Brittany Murphy's memory by not recasting it in A Dame to Die For. That's the only nice thing I can say about Frank Miller at this point.
I mean, other than there's writing that he's done that, like the Dark Knight stuff is amazing, right?
But it has a nasty legacy at this point where that's all anybody can do. I mean, it's great when you first read it, but then you just read, it's like Frank Miller and all his sons. It's like, babes, there's only one Frank Miller.
Again, Bridget.
It was at a certain time that it happened. Let it go, people. It's time to move on and rejuvenate.
I mean, Daredevil Born Again.
Same thing with Daredevil, too.
The Daredevil Born Again is better than Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding? That was why I was such a huge Daredevil fan.
A lot of people say that, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they keep toying with it with the TV show, and you're like, tell me that story. All
right, I had two projects I wanted to ask you about. The first one, I guess since we're talking Marvel, did you see the announcement that had of course, all the internet fanboys bitching about casting a female Silver Surfer?
Yeah, okay, so here's my question. There is a female Silver Surfer. Isn't she playing that character?
I believe so, yes.
It's not, what's his name, Norrin Round or something?
Yeah, that's who they want. They want a traditional Silver Surfer.
Well, they had it. They had Doug Jones. And you know what? I say you've got multiverse. Bring Doug Jones back as Norrin Round, and you have her, what's Zaya something?
Shalabel, yeah.
Shalabel. I'm all about it. You know what? Those fanboys...
they don't know what they want, honestly.
No, no matter what, you're going to do it wrong. No matter what.
Yeah.
When Star Wars came back, when Disney bought it, the toxic fandom was so bad that I kept saying I wasn't even going to go to the new movies because people had ruined it for me so bad, the way they treated all this and the sexism and the racism. And I'm like, why are you upset about, John Boyega being in this? You haven't even seen the damn movie yet.
Yeah.
Why are you upset that Rey is the lead character? What is wrong with you? We were
and again, it wasn't for it wasn't for that generation. It was for a new generation. It's like you have your Star Wars technically.
Yeah, but the new generation is just as troublesome. There are in the millennial group, there are a lot that they're doing the trad wife thing, and they're doing this like, oh well, it shouldn't be a female. I see a lot of the fanboys. The teenage boys are a problem, but they haven't discovered that.
Yeah, their brains aren't fully developed.
Right.
Won't be for a while.
Well, is that the troubling thing, too, is like, I don't know, I think a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to become the next big thing by tearing down this thing people love.
Well, we had that with our podcast network. How many times did I have to smack people back and say, no, we're here for the fans? Mm-hmm. We do an episode about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Enough Said. Mm-hmm. If it's not a great episode, we didn't like it, don't go on and tear it to shreds. You could go on and say, I didn't like this one.
Be constructive.
But you like the show, so you might as well talk about the things you liked in it as well, because the fans are there to hear what they like.
Yeah. No, I'm always like,
and there's
what?
A whole. We had people, Phil, it.
Yeah.
We had people that all they wanted to do. You were partnered with one of them.
Yeah.
All they want to do is tear down because it makes them bigger. It makes them seem like they're interesting. It makes them seem smarter. They're not.
Every week.
Yeah, terrible. So, yeah, and that older generation, that seems to be a language that they like to use. And this younger generation, it's like...
They're lost and confused. It's a really troubling time to be growing up right now, unfortunately.
It is.
Well, like I said, the tragic thing about this generation, I'm just like, what is their original thing that they're going to have? They're going to grow up and be like, oh, what did you like as a kid? Oh, I like the remake of this. I like the remake of this. It's all remakes.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Hey, get off my lawn. Okay.
Yes.
That was my impression of Phil.
That's usually me, actually.
No, I know it is. So, it's. But you know what, Phil? You're kind of right and you're kind of wrong. Everything evolves.
They have Stranger Things, but that's 80s nostalgia. So it's like. Ooh.
But I'm saying there's more remakes than original stuff at this point. It feels
there is. There's a ton of that. But then when you step out of it, like I'm noticing. Okay, so we've been watching some of these game shows on Netflix. The ones that are like Hollywood Comedian blank, those are terrible. Like the Is This Cake is an awful, awful, awful show. Okay, but
we've been watching. Is that what you're trashing?
Oh, I hate it. What is that? What did I call it?
No, I was just making sure we were on the same page here.
The host makes me crazy. Oh, and I can't. I watched it. We were watching it one day, so I watched it, and I'm like, "There's nothing here I like." But then last night we watched Awake. Have you watched that one?
Yeah.
It's fun. They got original things going on there. We watched.
Isn't that a British show though? So
doesn't matter. I don't care about that as much as there are original ideas. Entertainment is global. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we're talking like, oh, the Americans are remaking, I don't care. That Squid Game reality show I thought was going to be terrible. We could not.
Mr. Beast did it better though.
It off. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did it first and he did it better.
Oh, we loved it. I don't know Mr. Beast.
It was interesting, but it was sad at the same time. It's like you missed the point of the show by making this actual game show kind of thing. So
that's okay. I had a lot of fun with it.
I knew who was gonna win instantly. Though. People were my friends are so mad at me. I was like, I'm telling you, it's the old lady. I'm telling you.
I thought so too right away. And were you heartbroken when Trey bumped off?
Yeah, but I saw it coming a mile away. He wasn't.
Yeah, but the problem
doing the right affiliations.
The girl screwed him over, and then acted like she was innocent, and she was like, "Oh, I hated her. And I kept saying, "Okay, she's going to be the villain," and she just never proved to be anything but a villain.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch things with, like Boston Rob, he's the villain. Man, you love it.
Yeah, there's people that you love to hate and hate to love,
Have you watched Stupid Survivor is what I call it. Deal or No Deal Island.
Oh, with
Joe Malia. Yeah.
I wanted to, but I'm too embarrassed to watch it around the kids. So.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. It sucks, but we
even
can't
the cover
stop.
Looked like it sucked. You know what I mean?
We can't stop. Joe is great.
It's the
natural.
concept. So what's the concept? I don't get it.
Okay, you won't. First of all, Maeve likes the show Deal or No Deal. I think she just likes the thing, but she knows there's no strategy. Everyone's like, well, my strategy is just you're randomly opening cases. You cannot actually have a strategy.
Exactly.
Okay? I think at the core, it's dumb. Okay, but it's fun to guess. It's like playing memory. It's fun to guess and whatever. Okay, so they took some of the Survivor elements, they put them on this island, and they have them do some challenges, and then they get cases, and then at the end they play Deal or No Deal, and if they win, they get to stay, and they win money.
Trying to do it to keep the name brand recognition alive.
Yes. So at its heart, it is still Deal or No Deal and random. Although they keep acting like, I want to get this person out, so I'm going to do this, and here's my strategy, and you're like, yeah, and then you randomly pick case 4, and you're screwed. It's so stupid. But we can't stop watching. And the biggest reason we can't stop watching is they did a brilliant thing. They put Boston Rob on it. Boston Rob is amazing on it. He's playing the game like he's playing Survivor. He's manipulating people. He's right out there on Front Street saying, this guy's my guy. I'm going to get him to do this. And then he does. He has survived where he should have been voted out more than once. Makes it interesting. Take him off the show.
I used to love Survivor as a kid. That was my thing. That was my jam.
We still love it. We've watched every season.
I gave up sometime in 2006, I think.
You know what? Watch the last couple seasons.
Yeah, they have it on a CBS, not CBS, all that.
Yeah.
Peacock. Not Peacock.
No, Paramount.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's so many. It's so many.
I can't believe when I realized not too long ago, I'm like, man, that thing's been on since what, the late 90s? Early 2000s?
No, early 2000s.
Okay.
Came out when I was in high school. That was our thing. That was the one thing we had. That and Friends is the legacy of us poor millennials. Although I never really watched Friends, honestly.
We didn't like it at all. We didn't like that show at all. Seinfeld was a hit, so they created Friends. It came out right after it, and you'd watch Seinfeld and lead right into Friends, I think. It might have been the reverse. It might have been Friends, and then it led into Seinfeld. So when you went to Seinfeld, you were like, oh, it wasn't, DVR. So you ended up watching the last 10 minutes of Friends, waiting for Seinfeld, trying to hook you. So we watched it the first season, and after really only a few episodes, we're like, are you liking this?
Greater than Friends. I said what I said.
Oh, yeah. Don't at Lilith, because she is not wrong. Although I got tired of that show, too.
Yeah, the last couple of seasons were they were just beating a dead horse, but... Mm-hmm. That's network television in the late 90s.
At least it was funny. When it was funny. Whereas Friends, it was just kind of one note to me. It was I didn't get...
I just remember as a kid putting it together. I'm like, that's what Hank Azaria looks like? It just dawned on me one day, wait. Because I still am kind of a huge Simpsons fan, but I was just wait, that name. No freaking way.
Yeah. You mean it wasn't when you saw Godzilla 2000 that you went, oh my God, that's Hank Azaria?
I didn't see Godzilla 2000 for a long time. I didn't watch any new Godzilla movies until the 2010s, I think.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was just a whole thing. It was just it all felt too cash grabby.
I
want
saw
somebody
that.
to shoot a modern one in black and white, honestly.
Well,
and just
-1. They did a screening of it in black and white. You could go, after you saw it, they went back and they did a black and white version that got even better reviews.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The reviews I read said, because did you see -1?
No.
It is fantastic. You can't even believe it. You're going, okay, it's a Godzilla movie. I love Godzilla movies. I like giant monster movies, and they can be really fun. The new ones.
That was the most recent one, right? In 2023?
Yes. And it's they went from, man in suit, or, okay, big monster destroys everything. They actually had...
Oh, is that the one that was about that they set post World War II?
Right, and it's
okay.
it's more like a, I don't want to say prequel, to the original Godzilla, the original.
Yeah.
But it's set so you see like the first time they encounter this Godzilla, and you're like, wow, this is crazy. But he is not fully grown Godzilla. You think he is. You're like, oh, this is going to be the Godzilla we're going to see. And as it goes on, he's getting bigger because of the radiation and everything. And you're like, oh my God. And then he is going to be what wreaks havoc through the next 50-some years. But the story is actually about
I've been wanting them to
this
get back
guy,
to the roots of it and get away from the Americanized versions of it. Definitely.
It's so good. It is so... It's a legit good movie. And the effects are great. And it was one of the lower prices for effects for, a big budget movie. It was not much, which is why it won the Oscar for it. So then after it was a success there, they re-released it in black and white. It was for like one weekend or something. And the reviews I read said, like, there is something about the black and white experience with it. It's kind of like when you see The Mist. The Mist gets way better in black and white. Same thing here. They said it's like there's something about the black and white, the contrast for this Godzilla movie that makes you go, holy.
That's what I've always thought about the modern ones. It's just like something about it. I was just like, and plus it's too Americanized too, and they kind of want to put the focus on like the humans, and like I get it, but like
Yeah, you're talking like the new Godzilla movies, right?
Yeah, the newer ones, like since like 2000 and on. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, well, they were still making.
Japanese they were still making those ones. Yeah, those were good, but like
Japanese Final Wars Godzilla Final Wars, that was fun. That's the one where he the real Godzilla kicks Godzilla 2000's ass. That's one pretty fun. These new ones, they're not
trying to make a cinematic universe with Kong. It was just too much for me.
Actually, that was the best one. I liked that. I had so much fun with that. This one though is like at the heart of like this is a classic monster movie. But it's got so much heart in it. It's really good. Really good.
Definitely put it on my list. I admit it's been on my list, but like got a lot on my list.
Got a lot on your list. So do we. Well, we had the AMC Movie Pass, and we were going to tons of movies. But we're in spring. We've got all these Comic-Cons coming up. We're traveling a lot. And we were like, you know what? We're just not going to be able to use this. So we canceled it. We're going to restart in the fall. But as a result, I keep seeing things. I'm like, oh! I canceled just that too early. I missed Dune 2. I didn't make it to the theater.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. I get no hate. I will not hear it. I love Dune.
Like, the books are always going to be better, more rich, but they're trying.
Of course, but these are fun. I like the David Lynch one. I like the documentary about
David
Jodorowsky's.
Chalamet's just not doing it for me. Or Timothy Chalamet or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just not
Shyamalan
doing it
Ding
for
Dong.
me. After that Willy Wonka thing, I'm like, can we get this boy out of Hollywood? Please and thank you.
No, he's dating a Kardashian now, so you're not getting rid of him anytime soon.
Is he that thing still going on? That's surprising.
Oh, I don't know. He was. I just found out. I don't follow
they go
that.
through underwear, so you know.
Ew.
So you got any interesting takes on marketing news?
Did Phil get all his questions before we go into business mode?
And I don't care.
Oh, Phil.
I'm kidding. Phil, do you have anything else to say?
No, you could.
Oh, talk with Charlie.
I know I know. Again, she's taking the Charlie slot. No, let me get in here for a moment. Well. No, go ahead, love.
Yeah, there's like a lot of interesting rebrands going on.
Yeah, there's always a lot.
You mean like the Capes and Lunatics?
I was just going to say, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. I figured we'd talk a little marketing and have fun with it. I really like the rebranding you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Now with ampersand.
Yes. Ampersand wasn't in the brand before nowadays.
That should be the tagline, honestly. Capes and Lunatics now with ampersand.
Now with more ampersand. Ampersand!
100% more ampersand. No, I think they're really cool logos that I've been seeing on there, and I think that some of the things look really cool. What are these new shows that you've added?
New shows?
I thought there was something.
Maybe you talk about Marvel Tales or.
Oh yeah, you mean the new show we're like 69 episodes into? Yes.
No, I thought there was something. I thought I heard
Superman.
The Electric Mullet. Yeah.
You did the Energon. You got a couple.
Yeah.
That are pretty new.
Oh yeah, Energon Universe.
I'm looking up to see if I can see what I was talking about, and it might just be a single episode. But there was something that I was like, oh, I got to ask him about this.
Oh.
All right, go on to Southgate Media Group. Because it does push to Southgate Media Group still, which is awesome. And I try to go in and categorize things. Let's see. Marvel Tales.
Mm-hmm. Excited, Rob. We're the old podcaster himself got excited about something we did.
Oh, stop it! You know I'm a big fan. The Electric Mullet, Quantum Zone. Yeah, I don't know what I was seeing. Chichester Chats. You have it was something when you were talking about Chichester Chats, and I think you said it even in the intro, and you mentioned a title, and I was like, oh, I don't know that one. Who knows? Who knows? I do love that you have Chichester Chats. I think Capes and Lunatics is great. I do. Okay, I'm going to ask questions.
No, give advice. Don't ask questions. Give advice.
Okay. Yes. Then I'm not going to ask questions. What did you want to ask me? I mean, you've got this network you're building. What's the thing that's keeping you up at night about it?
Probably subscribers.
Yes.
Monetization.
Yes.
Like normal.
I want more. Yes, I want more.
Okay.
More downloads. More. I want more. Well, I mean, our subscribers are on YouTube are going up. So that's.
What are you at?
What is it, like 415?
Oh, hey, that's good.
Yeah.
A couple more we'll be able to live stream, so super excited about that.
Yeah.
With the new updates to YouTube, which like a lot of people are kind of like happy about those new changes to YouTube. It's like it's not technically monetization; it's monetizing your community, which is great. But like you really don't have a chance to monetize your community until you're a little bit bigger. So it's just kind of like
right.
It's great that it's there, but like practically that comes later. We'd love to have the AdSense instead. Thanks.
Right.
They're very stingy with that AdSense. So.
Okay, here's a question. If you know, all right, what is the best platform to live stream to? Because we were I was kind of doing Facebook and Twitter, but then we kind of got a strike on one accidental one on Facebook.
Don't say it.
For talking about a certain Tarantino movie that ends in Bill.
You got a strike for that?
Yeah, but I mean, but then I fought it. They took it off, but again, I can't stream the Facebook for a while yet.
Twitch, but it's so hard to grow on Twitch discoverability.
Yeah.
Like that is the streaming platform, but it's also crowded, especially in the just chatting section. Like we're not actually gaming, so I mean, it is the best streaming platform. It has the best subculture for streaming. I do know while we're waiting for Facebook, I've just been streaming to I'll stream to 3 different Twitter accounts, and again, I mean Twitter. We've been getting more live views on Twitter or X than we have been on. Twitter's Facebook. A mess, and it's nothing to watch. So yeah, I know. So. Like as much as Elon tries, it's just like everybody's like, okay, it's just so random. Your feed is so random now, and chock full of just inconsequential ads. Oh, it's terrible. It's just hot garbage now. Yeah, I mean, the people that are toughing it out, God bless you. You know what I mean? Well, and I still take, when we post our social media for the publisher, I still put it all on Twitter. So it goes Facebook and Instagram. They push to each other. I go into Twitter, I put it there, and then I put it on LinkedIn. And they all get some activity. Twitter is a hot mess, though. But you know what? It's a grab bag. But there are communities still there. So, if you, I've worked with Tabletop, right? So we've got TTRPG. And if you follow that community on there, even though a lot of them have moved to TikTok and that, there is a huge community where they do TTRPG Rising. It's a hashtag on Wednesdays. Yeah, but so much of that is pay to play too. No. A lot of this, the individuals do it. There's no pay or anything. And they're reposting your stuff. And the community, what I found is they actually repost it as opposed to podcasters who every time I started something like that, don't post jack, right? Which one is this? Which one is what? Wait, where are you talking about? I was talking about on Twitter how with Tabletop it works great. For podcasts, it was terrible. The only thing that works on Twitter for podcasting that I've found was what our show How Many was doing, what Junior was doing, and it worked, is he followed, I think the hashtag was Find a Podcast, something like that. If you go to their Twitter profile to How Many and just look at what they've posted, you'll see that there's this hashtag that keeps coming up. And what he does is whenever somebody does the hashtag looking for a podcast or find a podcast, and people say, I'm taking a road trip, I'm doing this, you know that a lot of that is, bull. Yeah. But he posts every time hey, we've got a show about this. Here's a link. Check it out. And you know what? The reason I found out about it is this show that we could not figure out really how to market because it doesn't have a hook to it. Their numbers were going up. This show that should not really technically be going up kept climbing. And then when I asked, Jesse was like, I don't know. He goes, it could be. And Jesse runs the show. And he was like, I don't know. He goes, it could be. He goes, I know Junior's been doing a lot on Twitter. Then I looked on Twitter and I'm like, is this what he's doing?
And then I ask him, and he's like, yeah. He goes, I don't do a lot. I just follow this hashtag. And he goes, but I just make sure every day, if somebody posts, they're looking for a podcast, I post, hey, check out how many. Here's what we do. And you make it easy. You have a link that goes where you want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
So if most of your listeners are on Apple Podcasts, your link goes to Apple Podcasts. You want to make it one click. If you're trying to grow your YouTube thing, put the click to YouTube. Don't. Ooh, I almost swore big time. Don't screw around with that's not my network. Go F. No.
We are allowed to curse here.
Yes, but come on.
He's so professional.
I'm being professional, Rob, right now.
That's right. We don't work.
That's not what sidekicks is for. Okay.
Well, it's not sidekicks.
It's to let your freak flag fly.
This is not sidekicks. This is now the third best Southgate network. Didn't I tell you?
Oh God!
Oh damn! Hostile takeover. Now I was going to say we
know me.
Okay, good, Phil. Give him the editing schedule.
Oh hey! We can swear here. We don't work for that tyrant anymore.
Mark
It works for his network, but I think that this is more on brand for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was a jerk.
In his many robes.
Man of many robes.
My editing.
Oh, there's your tagline.
What was it?
A man of many robes.
Man of many robes.
Well, I am ordained in the Church of the Dude. So I am a dudist priest, which means I can perform ceremonies in robe. Go back and look at my history. So anyway, they were successful on Twitter with that. Now, for you guys, what I would do is, number one, I would think about what the goal is. I think your goal should be moving them to YouTube. You said what's the best streaming place? You've got lots of options ahead of you. With pour over marketing, I stream it on Facebook. I've now started pushing it to YouTube. Now, it's not streaming there because I don't have followers. I have 24 followers or something. Mm-hmm. YouTube can be great, but I'm not as big a fan.
Like, I'll share the YouTube link after the fact. Like, it's not a live stream, yeah.
Sure, but if you want them to watch the live stream, I think the bigger thing is figure out where your audience is. If you've got a huge audience on Facebook, stream it there and make sure you promote the hell out of your live, right? You can't just randomly put it up. So like this show, last time I did a thing where on Pour Over, I did an ad on Pour Over. I talked about it a lot. I tried to share it on my stuff. This time it crept up on me. I didn't do any of that. I talked about it, but I didn't have something visual. What's happening now? We don't have a single one of my people from that watching the show. Last time we did. Make them aware as possible. I know that they are on Facebook watching my show, so I talked all about the Facebook feed for this. I actually am a bigger fan. How many patrons do you have?
Not a lot. I don't want to even say. It's embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing.
Hey, anything. It's great to have anybody support you.
I mean, we
support you in general.
No,
we
four.
Have 4, don't we?
4 paying customers. Yeah, no.
All right. Are they all last name Parrish?
No, none of them.
Actually, you should tell your mom and dad now that I think.
Yeah, they suck. Come on, man. I think Southgate Media Group still has one, and I haven't posted anything. And their last name is Southgate. Thanks, Mom. So, actually, if I were to plan it out, the live stream, I would only have on Patreon. And I would tell people, we're recording, we do it on Facebook, we do it on blah, 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 blah. We record. I'll put it here, right? But if you want to watch it live and interact with us, it's on Patreon. Now, the other thing I would do is I would consider doing some live and some not on there. What I mean by that is take Third Best. Third Best doesn't have a big audience, right? You could put this as a free one.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to have free content. What we did with Southgate Media Group is we had, when we put new shows out on Libsyn that went everywhere, I put those on the Patreon. So they were free. Because everyone's like, oh, monetize. This is free here. Why am I making it cost you here? But then we had shows that only lived on the tier where you paid. Pay $5, you get the live feed where you can interact with us. And now you promote that. You promote that you can interact with us. There's engagement, but it's a live feed. And then occasionally have a live thing for free on there. Once a month you do a free one on there. Now, another one I've seen, Mysterious Universe does a thing where for their Patreon, and I would do the same technique with the live, is they have their show, It's like 45 minutes. At the end of it, it fades out. And as they're fading out, they're like, hey, we've got another half hour we're doing on our Patreon-only page. Check it out. We're starting it right now. It fades out. If you're a patron, paying $5 a month, it goes to, you can watch them do it live. So you've listened to the show, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. You can watch the old live feed, or if you start to get to know it, hey, I know they record on Thursdays. They say we record on Thursdays. So you know at 8 o'clock, if I'm a patron, I can go on and engage with them on their live show. Astonishing Legends does the same thing, where they have their live show called Astonishing Junk Drawer. It's a live show that is only on their Patreon. Now, will they occasionally take those shows and put them for free on their feed? Yeah, because then you hear it, you're like, shit, I have got to subscribe. So that's what I would consider, rather than how do I give it away for free and reach more eyeballs that way. I would give it away for free after the fact, or have a free version and then create something for your patron to try to build on that. We did have a little bit of success with that with Southgate Media Group. The problem was we weren't getting the penetration for it. It was too hard, too many shows, right? Too many subjects. With enough said, when we did the Daredevil thing that year, we had, I don't know, a dozen fans that followed us, that subscribed. It worked because we said, here's our regular show. You get that for free. We posted the free shows. And then we had this Daredevil series that we only had live on there. And it was a video series. So people could see Alil and I talking about the Daredevil show.
Ah, content that you pay for, even a little face.
It worked.
Huh.
It worked. And then when we finished the series, though, we lost everybody except one guy. And what we did was we wrote to that guy and we said, look, I don't know if we're going to do another one, so we understand if you want to, leave. But thank you so much. And we're going to be putting these for free on the other feed soon. And he wrote back. He was like, that's amazing, because I wanted to share it with my friends, but there was the barrier. And I said, that worked, because there was the barrier. If his friends weren't willing to pay for it, then I don't care if I reach those people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if I were to do it, if I were to go back to the drawing board, I would figure out, how do I do my live thing only on my Patreon?
Okay.
And then beyond that, how do I reach out with it and push everybody to the Patreon? There's your goal, right? But how do I reach out with it? Put out a Substack. Share the video on your Substack. If you guys have Buy Me Coffee, you can put podcasts on your Buy Me Coffee, but just do a little chunk of it with a lead-in saying, hey, if you like this, try this. The other thing I would do is I would recut a trailer. If you don't have a trailer, I would cut a trailer for your podcast, and in that, mention, hey, here's what we do. Oh, and we do a live video feed on Saturday mornings, Patreon only. So if you like what you hear, you want to support us, that's how you can do it. Put it in your trailer. Okay. Do you have a trailer?
I mean, we just have like that quick intro at the beginning of every episode.
That's not a trailer.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So there's a podcast called Trailer Park. Ariel Nisblatt, I might have her name wrong, does this podcast. If you listen to the first couple episodes, she tells you exactly how to create a trailer. And they're good. She's right. You can send in your trailer, and some of them she reviews and talks about them on the show. Some of them she doesn't. It's funny because I sent her one for Nuff Said? No, might have been for New Media Lab. And it's funny, I interviewed her afterwards. I was like, oh, I didn't make the cut. She was like, oh, no, I might get to it. She goes, I got a ton of these. She was like, it's a good trailer. She told me offline. She goes, oh, that was a really good trailer. I said, well, all I did was follow exactly what you said. But that trailer, that is something you can share with people. It's something you can put on your social media. Don't share it once and have it go into the ozone. Lilith, How long do things live on the internet, right?
About 0.5 seconds.
Right. So don't be afraid to once a week.
Can you even still pin on Twitter? I literally haven't been on Twitter in like
I believe so.
And I
believe so.
And I mean, we do video here. I mean, can I put it at the beginning of every episode? I mean, you'll get the audio on the audio podcast. If you're watching the video, you're going to get...
It's not for you. Although if it does explain what the show is about, sure. But the live thing is better. You saying, here's what the show is about. Hey, welcome to Capes and Lunatics. Today we are talking about this. This is the show where we break down superheroes and we do this. Today we're talking about Superman being played by the woman from Ozark. Right? The other thing is, for your live thing, create moments of engagement. So, can you put up a live poll? Can you ask a question? Can you do this, like when I share my thing that says happy hour? I did it on Pour Over, where I shared a question. In fact, today, I did a whole question thing where I introduced this idea. It's called Catalyst, which is a business that Maeve and I came up with a long time ago, and we just never did anything. And the other day she went, you're doing Catalyst on Pour Over. Oh, my God. So I turned the show into Catalyst today, and it worked incredibly well. And it caused engagement. I'm getting like 70 comments on some of my shows. Whereas before, I don't know if you could add up 70 comments over a whole year of the entirety of Southgate Media Group.
I mean, you got me thinking now, because, again, with live video, I mean, I can make visuals and be like, here's the poll, and yeah.
Polls, questions.
Okay.
Put them on there.
Oh, okay. I know where to start, too. Tell me why Superman 3 is the greatest movie of all time.
Oh, my God. You're not wrong. Charlie Puppet's question of the week.
Ah.
And people can answer. It's something you can use in social media, but it's something for your live feed. And it's great. And if you get good answers and they're funny, you could always share top comments on our live feed this week.
See, I told you, Lilith, the Charlie Puppet's mansplaining moment. I told you.
Yeah, no, I told you, go for it.
I think it has too much hair, though. So
it came in.
It's a young Charlie.
It came in YNT. He would grow that thing out, then shave it.
Yeah.
I know. He'd Walter White it once in a while. He did have the hair. Phil's doing the same thing. He just never lets us see it when it's fully grown out. Says the man who is getting shinier and shinier by the moment.
A two-robe man, A2.
Yes. So there you go. I mean, I hope I gave good advice.
No.
To you guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, I have one more question. I don't know if it's a stupid question. Well, it's me, so it probably is.
Wow, Phil took all the marketing questions, Lilith. What a jerk. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah. So one, suck it, Lilith. And two, does it matter like what link you share, whether it's Apple Podcasts or Libsyn or
It does.
Okay.
It
Because
does.
you know how snobby Apple iPhone people are.
Or the people that don't like Apple.
Exactly.
But the thing is, Apple is still the number one platform.
It is.
Spotify is not far behind it. So here's what I've come to do, and it seems to have made things work. So we post a new episode of Read Between the Lines. I do a post that says, hey, new guest, blah, blah, blah. Check it out. And then I put the link to Apple, and it just says Apple, and I use a Bitly link. Spotify, Bitly link. It depends. I was doing things like what was the one that's gone now? I can't remember. And then I was doing Google for a bit. Does nothing.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, in each post, do multiple
I would
links?
do 3, no more than 3.
Okay.
So now what I've been doing is Apple, Spotify, YouTube.
Yep.
That's it. And then watch your hashtags. That's what I do.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And make sure they're clickable. Make sure it's easy. And make sure it says what it is. Because what I have found is I will see engagement, and they're specifically clicking on one of those 3 things. And I'm like, okay. Before, I was just using the Libsyn link. That didn't work.
Okay.
If I just put Apple, there are people that hate Apple, or people that are like, I don't have the app. One of my best friends, I was like, can you give me a review on Apple? I've got all these shows. Can I get just a review on This Week in Geek? And he said, I refuse to use Apple. I'm sorry. Like, for your friend, you can't go in there and use Apple, right?
Well, if you don't have an iPhone, can you even do that through that link? Or I don't know how those work.
I don't know.
Because isn't iTunes dead or something like that? So technically,
well, it's called Apple Podcasts now.
Yeah.
And I don't like their app
and it's
platform,
not
but
like
it's still
for
number
PC
1.
anymore. So like it's weird.
It's weird. They keep breaking these things, which is why I'm a big fan of going outside of it. Put the YouTube stuff on. Like I've said before, I think I've said it on here. In Europe, YouTube is the number 1 platform for podcasts.
Yep.
So be there and promote people go to it.
Okay.
Well,
I think that's the biggest piece of advice, at least that I got from this subject. It's like, do the post, do multiple links.
Yeah, do multiple links. Don't do it just once. That's the one that makes me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
One post. Show comes out on Tuesday, and I put up one post. It's gone. On Twitter, it used to be that the lifespan of the average tweet, the active ones, was 20 minutes. People are always blown away by that. It's like you could put the same post every 20 minutes, and people get tired of it, but new people are seeing it every 20 minutes. Now, Twitter, it's like once every 20 days because who wants it? But keep that in mind.
There's engagement. The way their quote unquote algorithm works over there, it's wild.
It is.
Like I've just been seeing people talk about it and like trying to dissect it, and they're right. Honestly, I feel like there's no algorithm anymore since Elon Musk took over and fired all those people. I feel like people are manually managing things. Personally.
I feel like it too. It's crazy, isn't it?
Like from a tech perspective, it's just no way.
Yeah, but once again, the point is not saying like, okay, I'm going to post 20 times a day, but
at least post something a couple times a day.
Yeah, a couple times a day works. If you can make it so you're posting a couple times a day, 3 days a week, you are way ahead of like probably 95% of the podcasts.
3 days a week. That's cute.
Yeah, exactly.
We're posting like 5 days a week.
Yeah, but are you posting about the same thing?
No, because we have episodes going up at least 4 days a week, so I mean it's always another episode. Yeah,
the episodes
per each episode is what he's saying.
How many times are you posting about Chichester Chats? One time? Are you posting it 3 times in a week, and then the next week doing in case you missed it and doing that twice?
Okay.
Because guess what? Penetration.
Hell.
Now, would you do that much on Facebook? Ew. Phrasing.
Exactly.
Would you do that much on Facebook? No, because Facebook, you're scrolling through it.
They'll call you spam on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep. But that doesn't mean you can't do. I did the Chichester Chats on Tuesday. Maybe Saturday, I do hey, in case you missed our new episodes this week, bam, and then wait a week or 2 weeks and just repost that Chichester Chats in your mix. Okay. You've now put it out there 3 times on Facebook. In between there, you've done it that many times. You've done more on Twitter, okay, and then maybe on Instagram you did one post, and then maybe you have a lot of content, so maybe you could do a second one in case you missed it later. Like great interview, but take a different approach. Maybe one of them is just the stagnant image with here's the episode. The other one is just a clip. If you could do clips. You know, one of the most effective things we've seen, we were taking Drinking with Authors and taking little bite-sized pieces. So we have the show that goes up, and I try to post that like a couple times a week. But then these bite-sized things, we experimented with putting those out, and the engagement went way up. People listened for 30 seconds, and it was like, oh, why are our numbers starting to go up? Because people were starting to discover the show. We got a nice little fun bite-size, and they went for it. So I hope that helped.
Oh yeah.
So how do you feel about TikTok? Are you experimenting with TikTok yet? Or
I have not kicked it on yet, but yep, I'm about to. TikTok's been tricky for me because I'm like, what do I promote on there? And that was a problem.
For writers, it's a great community.
Yeah, the 4 Horsemen TikTok is about to jump into the fray. We've had a lot of other things I'm kind of getting control of on the marketing side of things, and that is one that we're like, that's kind of a next step. For me personally, it was, what do you do on your TikTok? What is your focus? Because my stuff isn't all books, right? And then I realized, I was actually just doing this. I think I know an approach I'm going to take. I'm going to make it kind of third best where we talk. I'm going to work on doing a book talk type thing in there and my marketing stuff. And then when I have a tabletop thing, but always try to have the lens of marketing. And I think that'll be a lot of fun. I think it can be really effective. For the book stuff, you're a comic book person, you're a musician. If your stuff is in a TikTok shop, or if you can set up your own TikTok shop, go get your Shopify on your website and set up your own shop, even if it has 3 things in it. Now you have something you can do posts where you link it back to your TikTok shop, and you can have pretty gigantic eyeball on. I've been talking for 2 hours. I start to feel like Phil at some point.
Well, we will let you go. It's been great catching up with you. Great advice,
oh my God.
As always.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to turn into that. Okay, so I'm going to hype. So Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. Central, I do Pour Over Marketing. It competes with this Capes and Lunatics thing. Let me take your audience. I'm kidding.
We don't get up that early anymore, Rob. Sorry to tell you.
I'm up at like 5:30 or 6 every day. It's ridiculous. So I do that literally just before doing this. So that's Pour Over Marketing. It's an AMA. I'm growing audience. It's been so much fun. I can't believe it. I thought it was just going to be a casual, I'll do it for a couple times and we'll see. Now all of a sudden it's like...
So is that in the place of New Media Lab or like what's...
No, it's run through New Media Lab.
Okay.
The New Media Lab is going to come back. I've got, a dozen shows recorded. They're not going to be what I necessarily want. So I haven't decided, do I want to release them that way? Do I want to use footage from Pour Over and start integrating it? But New Media Lab is going to come back. The video version, the video blog version of it is Pour Over Marketing. And that also ties to the blog for, which is called Mic Drop, which is my podcast props thing. So that's all going to integrate, and the central hub will be New Media Lab. Okay. But this Thursday, I've had a number of people say exactly what you said, Lilith. I don't get up that early. The whole idea was just sitting and chatting and having coffee. Now people actually like the show and want to get in there on it. Oh my God. And the marketing conversations are freaking great. And I have marketers that are in there that write me afterwards. They're like, my friend Mike is like, it's the greatest show on marketing I've found. I'm like, really? He goes, because you just shoot from the hip and people share ideas and like, it's so accessible.
I get so much right.
So many of these shows go from I'm the expert, only my ideas work. And then you're like, yeah, but I'm at A and they're talking about, T. I don't treat it that way. I want people to share their ideas, and then we pick apart those things and talk about them. And like I said, today was phenomenal. The amount of ideas that flowed in there, I was like, damn, I would watch this show every Saturday. So Thursday, I am doing
the greatest podcast ever. Who hosted it? Me.
No, man. But I'm not. All I am is
my words.
I'm just
Mark
a guy
my
facilitating. But Thursday night we're doing, instead of Pour Over Marketing, it's Pour Over Marketing Happy Hour.
Nice.
So Lilith, you'll like that. You can bring your box of wine. Phil can bring his $2 chuck. I'll bring my coffee. And that's the idea. People wanted it later in the day. So 7:00 Central on Thursday night, we're going to do happy hour. If it works, great. I did one as a test last week. Only 2 people showed up, but afterwards they were like, this was amazing. I loved it. I'm like, okay, because it was just you two. So you basically got an hour coaching session for 2 people. But yeah, Thursday night, we're going to try it happy hour. So please be there. It's on the New Media Lab Facebook page. It streams to the New Media Lab YouTube channel, but that I haven't got all worked out in YouTube. It's also been streaming to the Southgate Media Group now to that Facebook page. And
Are you thinking about doing Twitch for it or no? Because you can instantly stream there. That is the nice thing about Twitch. There's no barrier to really stream.
Not yet, but I think the Thursday night thing might turn into a Twitch thing. We were one of the early adopters.
You should definitely do that.
Did you know that? Like, we were
when it was just in TV? Or
no, when it was Twitch, we used to stream live at the Blue Box there.
Oh yeah.
And literally, it was us and all video gamers. And I was reached out to from Twitch to say, hey, this isn't video game content, because then that's all they wanted.
Yep.
And they said, it's not video game content, so we're not sure. And I wrote back
wow, they didn't even have just chatting yet? That's crazy.
I wrote back what the idea was, and I said, this is what we're doing, and it's this live thing. I said, let it stay up there. What's it hurting? And we did. We did it for maybe 6 months, and then we stopped because we got no traction. But now I see all these shows on there, and I'm like, you know what? There is a lot of potential there. Whether it's realized yet or not, Twitch could be the future for this.
They don't want to be, though. Amazon doesn't want it to be, unfortunately.
But it could
Somebody
be.
should buy Twitch from Amazon. It would be good.
Which could happen.
Yeah.
Just not Elon Musk.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be a culture vulture on this one.
Who would buy a platform from Elon Musk?
Mark your bingo cards, kids.
Yeah.
Elon Musk slander.
I would love it if Capes and Lunatics Network bought Twitch. That would be...
Okay, kids.
Well,
load up the Patreon.
Well, let me just.
We've been trying to buy Warner Brothers for a decade.
Let me just grab some bars of gold from the vault, Rob, and I'll make that happen.
So yeah. So here's my challenge to you guys: pick a number for your Patreon subscribers. Keep it low, and between now and the next third best, I want to hear that you hit that number.
All right, 5.
I want you to think about, how am I going to hit that number? How am I going to reach that goal? And you guys have full access. So you guys even have my phone number. You want to float something by me? You want a question? Do it. All right? But I have that goal. I want you guys to first pick a goal for how many subscribers between now and the next third best. Tell me what that number is, and then figure it out. I got 2 smart people here with me. I know you can figure it out.
Who's the little sitting with?
I meant the Charlie Puppet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Nice.
Don't
forget your Substack either, too.
Or wait, I've got a turd in my pocket. That's the other person.
Wow.
Yeah, I have my Substack too. You got a Substack, Phil?
No.
All right.
Well, that's another thing I got to work on.
They just did an update with Substack too, right?
I love Substack. Oh my god, I love it.
I heard the creators really raving about that latest update for monetizing it. I think it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I haven't messed with it yet, but yes. So far, I'm not seeing missteps. I'm seeing it's kind of like a social media. It's a social media platform for bloggers, basically, and people that like to read blogs. It's
which
great.
Is better than what is it? It's not What's that old one that people used to use? It's not Square, but like
No, it was the one we used to be on. I can't remember.
Squarespace or
no, it's not Squarespace. It's now they monetize it. Like you actually have to pay into it now. It's totally changed. I can't
It's
think
garbage
of the name
now.
of it anymore. Yeah.
No, but Substack is great. You can have your free tier and then figure out what your barrier to entry is. Take your live stream. You don't even have to make it the live one. Make a show that only goes to, if you pay $5 a month, you get every Friday night we do a live thing on here. Or do that, and at this, I have some type of thing that we do special on at the $5 tier, and then for the people that do that, they get a unique code every week for our Discord to get in and watch a live stream on our Discord.
Oh, how do you like Discord?
Love Discord.
It's like Slack but better.
It is. It's fantastic.
It takes a lot to once you get a big Discord though, it takes a lot.
Yep, but I love it, and I love
it.
the streaming stuff. I'm thinking about actually taking Pour Over and streaming to Discord. So I would take the show that I'm doing, and then maybe branch something off and create it just for the Discord, where it's like an open chat for a half hour on a certain night. I have a friend that has a huge following with his podcast. When I say huge, downloads per episode. The last time we talked, he was at 2 million.
Oh, wow. Is it
Okay?
Joe Rogan? Are
No.
you friends with Joe Rogan?
No.
He actually gets more than that, but
You wouldn't
that's
know this.
huge.
You wouldn't know this guy's name, but it was proven to me, and I'm like, how the hell? He was on doing live things on YouTube for a long time, big following. Figured out they were ruining his monetization on it. They were trying to impose rules on him, and he's like, "What is this?" So he moved it so that he put a Patreon up, and it was only like $5 a month or $10 a month. He does every Friday night a live half-hour Discord, or an hour. He does an hour Discord, and people go in, and he interacts with his fans. They're seeing him live. He'll pop people in, and he's making money hand over fist because of it. Way more than he made with YouTube or anything else.
Again, of course, they want to keep everything for themselves now. So it's like creators make your platform. You got to keep the creators happy.
Yep,
we'll learn that pretty soon here.
And I got to say, I'm a big fan. It's just you got to look at the mix. We had a really cool thing that we were doing that nobody bit on, and then we'll go because we're already over time. But we had a really cool thing where you guys have Buy Me Coffee.
No.
Okay, Buy Me Coffee is actually not a bad thing. A lot of people like it because they could just say, I'll throw a buck in. I like the show. You just got to make sure you promote it. So with Southgate Media Group, we tried something where I did the 5 questions. Do you remember 5 questions?
I do.
Okay, so I was putting it on Facebook, but before it went there, it was actually a Buy Me Coffee exclusive. I would interview, say, Lilith with 5 questions, and then if you were a subscriber to Buy Me Coffee, whatever, for that month, so you threw a buck in, you got to exclusively hear this 5 questions with one of our podcasters. We had like 2 people do it, and they liked it, but it was too much work for 2 people. If I had 10 subscribers or 50 subscribers, I would have kept going forever with that. But at 2, it's like I was doing too many things to have that be part of it. But would I do that now? Yeah, I might do a Buy Me Coffee for New Media Lab or for Pour Over Coffee, where I do 3 burning questions. I was doing that with Podcasters Unite. The problem is the podcasters are lazy, so I couldn't get people. They say, I love it, but they won't come on. So I did a half dozen of those. 3 questions. Tell me how your podcast got started. That way they can pimp it. Tell me your best pro tip for podcasters. 3rd one, what's your favorite food in Chicago? I'm in Kansas. Okay, but what's your favorite food in Chicago? I don't care where you're at. Right?
Chicago-style hot dog.
There it is. That's not a good answer, Lilith. I want specifics. Where do you get that Chicago-style hot dog?
Which corner?
I'm not going to give you my secret freaking food place.
I'll tell you mine. It's Superdog. Superdog is
that's
the
so
only place.
Basic, Rob.
Are you kidding? Basic.
That's
I
basic.
am probably 80% Chicago hot dog at this
You're
point.
basic.
I know
You're
where the
basic.
good Gene and Jude's we haven't been to. Everyone says that one's great. And Superdog is the bomb. They still use garlic
It's the bomb,
in their
but,
dog.
it's basic.
No, it's not basic. They put garlic in their meat, in the dogs. They make their own. Everyone else is afraid to do that. That's why theirs tastes so good.
You're basic.
If you tell me it's Portillo's,
No.
I mean, Vienna beefs are great, and that's really what they're doing, but Superdog. Mark my words.
Red Hat Ranch, okay? Fine. Leave me alone.
Okay. for the basic out there, Red Hot Ranch is. All right, Phil, you made us go over time again. Hey, you know what we might have on Pour Over Coffee soon? Our own coffee.
Oh, look at him going the Phil DeFranco route.
Yeah, guess who found a roaster that'll give me little bags of coffee, and we can label them and do our own thing.
So if you want a dime bag from Rob Southgate.
A dime bag of coffee.
Third best flavor, though. I
it will. No, it will. They said they'll do custom flavors for me.
Oh.
Nice.
And they'll label it, or we can put our own show
Third best
logo.
needs to be a blonde roast. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I'm good
I
with
don't even know about coffee.
Slow roasted Rob.
Literally had 3 cups of coffee and 2 of them were espresso in my whole life.
Oh,
what?
My.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
I had more than that this morning.
I had real espresso when I was in Italy when I was 2 years old.
It's like butter.
The little tiny concentrated cup, and I'm like, why is it so little? I was up for a damn.
Now you know. There was a guy. My last story, then I'm out of here. There was a guy that owned. It was called Aladdin, and it was a Middle Eastern restaurant across from our store. Guy loved me. Every time I'd walk by, oh, my friend, come in.
You're putting his kids through college.
I'd go in and talk to this guy, and he had great food, but he would make his own Turkish coffee in the morning that was just his. It wasn't on his menu, and he would always, oh, my friend, I only give to you. Oh my God! It would be a little cup, and the bottom was this much was the coffee, and it was like brown glue. And he would say, oh, taste it. It was like drinking concentrated rocket fuel. I would take a sip and be like, yeah, that's really good. And I'd go back to the store and I'd start putting hot water in it, trying to dilute it somewhat because the flavor was incredible. But it was like mainlining coffee. This Turkish coffee was crazy.
That's your preview of the new show, 1 Rob, 2 Cups.
Oh, no. All the millennials are traumatized now. Thanks, Phil.
Why did Chris have to die? That would have been a show in 2 seconds. Yeah. 1 geek, 2 cups. I'm going to throw up. That's so disgusting. All right, guys. That's it.
All right.
That's it. I got to go.
Here, beat it.
Thank you, guys. And
Thank you.
take my challenge. I want to hear about this Patreon thing.
Yes, sir.
And if you give me too low a number, I'm going to yell at you.
Okay.
All right.
4.5.
Bye, guys. Have a great week.
You do the same.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wait, we're not going to play this song.
Oh, play it off. I'm not going to go anywhere.
Someplace where we belong.
Hey, follow Patrik Spanner's TikTok, the guy who did this music. He's been doing tons on TikTok. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, that's why I do the show. I don't do this talk to you. I hear this song.
This song, it's so good, right?
Yeah. Almost like this is too good for a Rob Southgate show. It's like...
Well, we have that other one that has Mike Bellman. He used to be an Alkaline Trio. He's a friend of mine. So he gave me a song that we used on Monroe's Company Sweater. Oh, my God. It was such a good song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Alkaline
Shout
Trio.
out to Blair.
She's still out there. Maybe we'll get Blair on here sometime. Wouldn't that
Oh, let's do it.
I'll reach out to her. All right, guys. Have a great week.
You do the same.
Thank you, sir.